Neighbors' complaint to the city backfires spectacularly. Some neighbors are just determined to be a nuisance for no reason. Ours is exactly that. We've never spoken to them, never interacted, yet they clearly dislike us. Their house is just a vacation home, so they aren't even here full-time, but they still act like they run the neighborhood. They seem to think we live in an HOA, but we don't. And that hasn't stopped them from constantly reporting us to city code enforcement over the most trivial things. Their biggest issue? Our yard. Unlike their meticulously landscaped and professionally maintained property, we let our yard grow a little wild. Nothing crazy, just a more natural look. But apparently, that's offensive to them. The 6-foot walls between our houses mean they shouldn't even be able to see our yard, unless of course they're climbing ladders to take pictures for complaints, which as it turns out, they absolutely do. The city has come out multiple times to investigate, only to find nothing wrong and close the complaints. But our neighbor is persistent. A few months ago, we were doing permitted construction on our home. Sure enough, they called the city again. Inspectors showed up, checked everything, and found no issues. That should have been the end of it, but our neighbor was furious that they didn't get their way. Instead of letting it go, they doubled down, filing multiple new complaints, trying anything to make trouble for us. Only one stuck. Apparently, my vehicle's registration sticker was missing. The city sent parking enforcement, who placed a warning sticker on my car giving me 3 days to update the registration or move it. I had no idea how the sticker went missing, but given my neighbor's history of climbing ladders to take pictures, it wouldn't surprise me if they scraped it off themselves just to file a complaint. As I stood outside dealing with the situation, I noticed something interesting. Their brand new motorhome was parked right in front of their house. Now, in our city, it's illegal to park an RV on the street. Normally, I wouldn't care. I'm not the kind of person who calls code enforcement over minor things. But after years of harassment, this felt like an opportunity too good to pass up. I casually asked the parking officer about the RV. He glanced at it and said, "There's no complaint about that one." So I smiled and said, "Well, I'm complaining." I watched as he took photos, wrote up the violation, and placed a tow order on the windshield. About an hour later, a tow truck showed up. The driver hooked up the RV and whisked it away to the impound lot, just like that. I can only imagine how furious they were when they returned and found their precious motorhome missing. Maybe next time they'll think twice before weaponizing the city against us.